The year is 1996, and you have such gems as The Craft, Twister, Mission Impossible, Independence Day, Kingpin. The list goes on, and Birdcage. Don't want to forget Birdcage. But there's one gem of 1996 that I'll be talking about today. That's right. It's time to talk about The Phantom on Retro Review.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Will, and I've got another retro review, and this one, oh boy, it's a hoot. I am here to talk about The Phantom, starring Billy Zane. Came out in 1996. This is a comic book movie. However, the comic itself is a classic comic from your local newspaper. The Phantom has been around for decades at this point, and Hollywood decided to do a live-action version of The Phantom. Now, this is well after the Christopher Reeve Superman and the 1989 Batman films, but well before you got to your Spider-Man and your X-Men movies. So it's that lull period in the mid-90s where studios were just trying comic book movies out. And this gem, I call it a gem. It's not a great movie. If you've ever seen The Phantom, he is a character who has no superpowers. He's like Batman, but from the jungle. He's basically he's out to stop evildoers. It's always been like that. A lot of depth to go through with the character, but this movie does add a lot of supernatural elements to it, which I think kind of make it cheesy fun. I used to say it's so bad it's good, but after watching it again after a couple of years, it's actually not a bad movie. It's very campy. This is a very campy movie. So the movie does take place in 1939, so there's a lot of aesthetics from that era of New York and the world at large, and the movie stars Billy Zane, who plays the titular character, Kit Walker, aka the Phantom. Now, he is out to stop the Sang Brotherhood from collecting 3 magical skulls that have unlimited power. So, you kind of get the gist of it. A lot of the supernatural elements were not in the original comic book. That was added by the director and the writer of the movie, according to what I read up about the movie from IMDb. It's very surprising that Billy Zane did not get a lot of acting roles. He's a very hardworking actor, and he's been in a lot of stuff. If you go through his IMDb page, it's insane how much stuff he's been in as guest roles or TV characters. His biggest role was obviously Titanic, which was a year after The Phantom, but I think he did a really decent job in the movie. It's a movie that I remember fondly for different reasons. I don't think it is one of the best comic book movies ever. However, I will admit the costume for the movie is highly accurate and well designed, especially for 96. It's basically a skin-tight suit, and they add a lot of effects. Not effects like visual effects, but in the design of the suit, there's a lot of textures and like tribal designs for the era where the character came from. And it's actually pretty neat. It's a really well on camera suit. With one high praise I can give to the movie. It knows it is a silly movie, and you get that no better in the performance of Treat Williams as Xander Drax, who plays the villain of the movie. He is over the top in the most comedic way possible. Like, he's just missing the mustache to twirl and laugh maniacally. He's insane, and that kind of shows how much people knew that this movie was not going to be Shakespeare, but is definitely a good chuckle to watch. It has not aged well in terms of special effects. You can definitely see that they're on a soundstage or green screen. There are a lot of cool practical effects that you get in the movie that you don't unfortunately see in a lot of today's movies because CG technology has gotten so good. And it's nice to revisit some of these movies where you get to see how they used to do things before computers and CGI and all the visual trickery got really well. There's not a lot of meat to the movie. It's definitely not an in-depth movie. There's a lot of little twists and surprises that they try to throw at you that are like, yeah, you didn't hide it well. So when the characters are super surprised by something, it's like, okay. But I had a blast watching it again. Like I said, I forgot how funny it is, and I don't know if it's funny for the right reasons, but the acting is so campy and kind of corny in certain spots that I just can't help but to laugh at the movie. It's not a bad movie. Everyone performs it really well in the movie. The dialogue and stuff is a little jinky. Like I said, it didn't age well. The 1939 setting does give itself a little bit non-PC stuff, but you know, it's not too bad. If you're looking for just something to kind of watch and laugh at, kind of like a la Mystery Science Theater 3000, The Phantom is actually really good to kind of do that with. It's a cinematic gem, but it was one that I remember watching again a couple years ago and couldn't stop laughing at certain things. But this movie works because I feel like everyone who's in the movie knows what they're in. They know it's over the top. It's kind of campy. I also have to give a huge shout out to the legendary Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, sir. If you don't know the name, you know the face. This man not only plays one of the villains in the movie, but he is also classically known as Shang Tsung from the Mortal Kombat movies and the video game. I mean, his likeness is in the newest Mortal Kombat game that's out there. His performance was fantastic. Treat Williams' performance as a villain was fantastic. Billy Zane is just charming. I mean, this is like peak Billy Zane in terms of look, and I guess this was around the time where they tried taking non-action stars and making them action stars. And Billy Zane was one of those guys. Obviously, it didn't work out, but the man still acts, and he looks better bald anyway. Like I said, overall, I gotta say, if you're looking for a good chuckle, and if you want to see where comic book movies were before the boom of the early 2000s, The Phantom is definitely a case study watch. It's not bad in terms of like it's unwatchable. It's not great, but it's a hell of a lot of fun, and I recommend give yourself an hour and 40 minutes and have a good laugh. Well, there you have it. That is my retro review or walk down memory lane, whatever you want to call it, of The Phantom. So if you have seen The Phantom, do you find it as enjoyable as I do for different reasons or the same reason? Comment down below, let me know what your thoughts are on the movie. If you haven't seen it, like I said, check it out. I think it's a laugh ride. It's nice to see where the comic book movie genre was and where it is today. You can follow me on Twitter at dgeekwill. Again, thank you so much for watching this and all my videos. Really aiming for that 200 goal before the end of the year, and you know, you guys have been joining the channel and it's been great. So I'm gonna have some more stuff dropping pretty soon, but till next time, catch you later. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, and you made it all the way to the end. Aren't you special? If you did like this video, if you don't mind, give me a thumbs up on the description. As well, if you click on my face right over here, you can actually subscribe to the channel for more videos. And if you've got a few minutes, why don't you check out a video or two that are floating on the side right here. Later.